So, hello everyone, I hope you can hear me. And the title of my presentation, the webinar today is Release Your Happiness, How to Get Happy with Compassionate Communication. Here we are. It's presented by Young Theatre, and we are, as I have heard, we are also sponsored by Citrix. They support us to make this the use of the webinar software possible. And I just want to introduce myself. I'm call myself compassionate coach and change agent. I have also some business photos available, but there are also other photos you can see there. You can reach me via my email address ebenhoch@yahoo.com, and I have planned further information and also a booklet about the question how to release your happiness. And I also would like to inform you that you can have access to the presentation using this URL, which I will also show you at the end. So you can completely relax and must not be afraid that you miss something. You have the chance to look after it after the webinar still. So I would like to begin with some credits to the NVC community. So the seminar and what I present is based on this insights of NVC. I will show you in a couple of minutes what this means. And there I have also some resources here prepared. You can have a look after the webinar if you got interested to deepen the insights maybe. Okay, so now let us jump into the webinar itself. I would like to raise the question about when do we feel happy. The second issue is how can you become a happier person? And the next question, what do you need to achieve happiness? And the last question, where will this lead to? This is a kind of overview. And if we now just go straight to the first question, when do we feel happy? When do you feel happy as human being? And as I'm sure you know, happiness is a very complying feeling. It brings us into a pleasant mood. And it also indicates that needs are fulfilled. So this is the idea of nonviolent communication, that needs are our life energy, our driving energy, and that feelings indicate whether a need is fulfilled or a need is not fulfilled. And the question which is raised here is whether happiness is something which just occurs to us, which happens to us, or if it is something we also can contribute, where we also can do something or have a kind of idea what we can do to release our happiness. And when do we feel happy? So as you might know, happiness can take very different forms. For example, you can be surprised by happiness, by winning a lottery prize, or by just meet a good old friend from school or from your childhood, accidentally, by random. Happiness can also be provided by an activity you enjoy. So when you go for a long run in the nature, just something like happiness pops up. Or you watch your children playing, and in midst of the ordinary life, there is a certain moment where you feel something, some connection, or some simply kind of full presence. And happiness can also be a result of a long-term goal and of an outcome of a lasting effort to achieve a certain goal. For example, when you pass successfully a test you have to learn a lot of, or you finish a school or university with a degree, or when you finish also a sport challenge like a marathon run or whatever, after you had a long time of preparation to invest before. So we see here that happiness can take different forms, and I would like to invite you to just take your time, just maybe 1 minute or so. I think 1 minute is sufficient, and just think yourself, when did you feel happy the last time? When did feeling of happiness, when was it available the last time? When did you feel happy the last time? And feel the happiness inside you, and also look where you can feel it in your body. So I would like to give you just 1 minute time, or maybe even less, just to of silence, so that you just can take your time and imagine or remind yourself of a feeling of happiness. Okay, so let us start now. So I think, I hope you have now something in mind where you can connect to. And if this works somehow, you have released or called for your happiness, which is inside you. And this is interesting because when you manage this, you felt happy by just doing something. You remembered an event or something, whatever it was, and it caused happiness in you. You just have been able to recall this happiness. And this shows that the happiness is somewhere within us. You just have been able to recall it and to bring it into that very moment now. And if I follow this, I come to this to the main concept here I want to show you, and it shows what I call the 3 elements of happiness. So happiness, as you can see, is on the left side here, and it can be released, it can be triggered when we are able to recognize happiness. So I state that happiness is here with us all the time, somewhere hidden in us, but we have to recognize it in every situation, and we can recognize it in every situation. If we have to be aware and be able to recognize happiness. And I can now have a look at the examples I showed you before, winning a lottery prize. So even if you win a lottery prize, you have to notice that you have been selected. So if you just buy a lottery ticket and ignore it, neglect it, you will not be able to receive the happiness which might be connected with winning a lottery prize. The same as if you meet a good old friend of you, you also have to remember him or her and the joint history which connects you. If you are not present, if you are not in the moment to recognize and to remember this, the chance is lost, the chance for happiness in that very moment. Also, if you go for a long run, it can be that you are really addicted with your thoughts from the day, from the business day, and you are not able to connect to the nature around you. And this also shows that you have to recognize happiness in this very moment. And the same also applies to the other situations. In each situation, you have to be aware and to recognize happiness, a happy moment. And so this is the first element of happiness. It's recognition of happiness. The next building block is embrace happiness. So it's not enough to recognize a situation. You also have to embrace it. You have to really get into the situation. And also here we can look at the details. If you win a lottery prize, you have also to feel, let us assume it's a lot of money you win, you have to feel this strength you might feel with this lot of money and the connection to the autonomy you now might have gained. Also, so in each situation, it's very essential also to really embrace it, to embrace happiness, to enjoy the shared memories with a good old friend, to enjoy nature on the long run, or to celebrate your parenthood in case you watch your children play. And also even when you pass a test or finish a sport challenge, it simply can be that you blame yourself because you did not achieve that very good running time, or if you did not get that grade you had expected. It's still possible, even in such a moment of success and of potential happiness, just to not embrace it. So this is the second building item for happiness. And the third one is the commitment to happiness. So commitment means that you, on the one hand, prepare what makes you happy. There is some preparation work necessary, and that you also unfold the happiness. So also here, though the picture here is from a marriage of a friend of me, it's you do not, maybe you can marry if you want to get happy, but it's not necessary. It's not just an example for a commitment you make, which has the potential to make you happy. And if you look at the details here, winning a lottery prize, yeah, you have to buy lottery tickets, and you have before, and you have to manage your assets afterwards. So it also, even to become happy by winning a lottery prize, you also have to make a commitment, and you also have to do some work here. Then the accidental meeting of a good old friend, you have to make friends before, and it's on your turn now to stay connected. And this also shows that it has, I do not want to say an obligation, but it's a kind of commitment which you are called for to somehow invest in happiness, to show some action, to get happy and to commit to happiness. And of special interest is here, or the last item, with when you pass a test or finish a sport challenge, because it shows that imagine a test or a sport challenge where it was not necessary to be prepared very good, or where you, which was very easy for you, where there was no preparation work necessary. The happiness you will receive will not be of the same quality than the happiness you get when you really had a hard time to prepare and to really become that person you got in the end when you succeeded the test or when you finished the sports challenge. So this shows that also the preparation work for such happy result is a part of the happiness. Though it might be a hard time and not so easy, but it also is a part of happiness to commit to it and to prepare for it. So this is, these are the, the three elements. And I found a very interesting quote by the Dalai Lama. He says that you will realize that to a large extent we are responsible for the unfolding of events. And this is what I mean here, that happiness is something you can unfold. You can unfold by simply recognizing it, embracing it, and by committing to it. Okay, so now we have an idea what happiness is and how we can achieve it, but what are now what can we do to really become happy? Or maybe let us first have a look if it's necessary. Maybe you are just a happy person that you do not need or do not see any motivation for improvement. One idea to think about this is that you just compare the happy moments and the unhappy moments of an ordinary day of life you have, or of 2 days or of a week, and just relate the happy moments and the unhappy moments, or maybe the happy days of a week and the unhappy days of a week, and then just compare if in your life there are more happy days or more unhappy days. And this might give you a kind of idea or maybe a kind of proof of your desire or ambition to become a happier person. Or if you only have happy moments, you also might have the idea to become an unhappy person, but I think this is seldom the case. So as you see here, we have in the upper row the 3 elements of happiness: recognize, embrace, and commit. And in the lower row there are these elements of NVC, of non-violent communication. This shows here how this fits together and how you can apply NVC to become a happier person. I will now just guide you through this sequence, and in the next part I will show you in more detail what is meant here. In NVC there is the idea that it's a good idea to start with a neutral observation of a certain moment. So often we are involved in feelings or in our emotions, and we are not able to have a kind of objective view on a certain situation. And NVC gives us the hint to try to do some observation with clarity. And this is helpful because if we observe in such a manner, we can recognize happiness. So it can be that in a moment we can recognize its happiness by doing such an observation. Often then we discover certain feelings. We see the situation, and we also have a feeling in us. It may be a positive feeling, an overwhelming feeling, a negative feeling, a boring feeling, a neutral feeling, a feeling of anger, whatever. There is a wide range of emotions. And the next step is then to really embrace this emotion. It might even be an unpleasant emotion. I will show you later how this can be utilized. And if we embrace it, we are enabled to find a need behind it. A need is life energy. Because even when we face a bad or unpleasant emotion, it is an indicator that there is a need behind it, which is not fulfilled. For example, if I want to have some kind of peace in the evening after I had a long working day, but in my neighborhood or when I go for a run, there is some kind of loud and sound, and it's a very noisy environment. And I did expect it the other way around. I would have preferred to have a quiet environment. That very moment, I will have an unpleasant emotion because my need to calm down is not met. And this, if I get aware of this, I can look behind this emotion and connect with my need for silence, for quietness, for peace. And in that very moment when I discover this need, this very deep inner need for silence, peace I have in that moment, something changes. And I get enabled to commit to it. I get enabled to go for that silence and peace, maybe in another place or maybe by leaving the situation or whatever. And this is then the commitment which is rooted in my need. And the last building block from a NVC perspective is a request. A request is an action where I express my need to the outside world or to myself. So this was a fast first walkthrough, and let us look in more detail to what these elements mean. What is obvious that when we want to achieve happiness, that we face some challenges. We have, for example, high expectations against us or against others. We blame ourselves, we blame others. Or one root of unhappiness is also if I compare myself with others. Because I think others are happy and others do not have the problems I face and so on. And this can even result in a kind of self-beliefs and belief systems that I just get stuck in my own system of unhappiness. And to get rid of this or to find a way out of this, we look now at these elements of NVC in detail. And as you see, there are 4 steps, and it's the same as I showed you before. This is observation, feeling, need, request, and on the right hand side you see the qualities we need. We need clarity, we need emotions, so we really need emotions, and we also need all emotions, also the unpleasant emotions. We can connect to life energy, and then we get ready for action, for happy action, so to say. And this means, from that perspective, that all feelings, in particular, including all unpleasant feelings, are valuable as they refer to unmet needs and longings. And that it can be put in that way that it can be said that unhappy feelings and also unpleasant feelings are the entry point to achieve happiness. And how can this be done now? The first thing we can do is to get some clarity. So it's cognitive clarity, it's mindfulness, it's more embodied clarity. It's just the idea to watch a certain situation with clarity. And this is so OFNR, so that this is an abbreviation from NVC. It's observation, feelings, need, request. And it's when we take the person who looks for some peace, but there is a noisy environment, it is just that you look at the situation as it is. You recognize that the situation bothers you because there is noise and you want to have it silent and peaceful. And the idea here is just to stay pretty neutral and separate this observation, that there is noisy environment, from what you feel inside. Just that to separate the observation from the feeling. And to see that the action which took place caused this kind of feeling inside you. This is first thing, with clarity. The next one is to give way to your emotions. So this is really the path to happiness, to increase your emotional bandwidth. So to really let emotions flow and somehow to utilize feelings to detect underlying needs and values. And this goes hand in hand with providing compassion, so that you embrace the feeling which occurred and really felt in that very moment, get connection to the need behind it. So recognize what caused the emotion in you, and recognize what need was unfulfilled. So in our simple example, the need for having peace and having silence. And you must be aware that even very bad and painful feelings, they hurt so much because in that strength of a bad, unpleasant feeling, it reveals that really a core need of us is under threat. For example, if we have a close person who is suffering, or gets ill, or even dies, our core need for being in a close relationship to others is really under threat. The pain is because our need behind it is so strong. And the fierceness of that unpleasant feeling is somehow the flip side of the strength of our need. And this is also an indicator to this connection to that need behind it, that we feel the quality of our need, though somehow we can go through that pain and connect to the need, which is a life energy in us. This is especially also true with regard to blaming. Blaming is something we are pretty used, or at least I, to apply it in everyday life, and which distracts me from being happy, because I often tend to blame myself for not being perfect or for whatever. So blaming is also something where it is sometimes not so easy to overcome it. If we manage to go through this feeling, we get in connection with needs as life energy. So needs empower us, they give us energy, and they also are interlinked. So one need can be connected with the other need, and there is also often a need behind a need. So often we have cravings for something, cravings for sugar, cravings for luxury, which is something which hides something behind. So if we crave for sugar, it's not, so to say, a real need. It's a craving for some kind of success or fulfillment or warmth or whatever which is behind it. So it's sometimes also challenging to really find the need behind it. But when we connect with it, we are sure that we got it. So it's really a strong feeling, and it's a feeling which causes happiness. And it might be an idea now, if you think of the moment you remembered before about happiness, what the need behind this moment might have been. So I think I will just give you also a couple of seconds to remember that moment you had in mind before, so the moment of happiness. And if you just reflect for a couple of seconds, what could have been the need behind it? What was the need which was fulfilled, which really brought up this happiness inside you? So I just will be silent now for a couple of seconds and give you the time to think about the need behind it. Okay, so maybe you have found this quality of the need. It's the root core, the root energy of empowerment, which where we can ask, where will this lead to? Where will this awareness of your needs, where will it lead to? And it will lead you to action and commitment. So the poor contact with a certain need, it really changes the situation. It literally changes the situation. You feel sound and free to act, react, or simply laze around with ease. So if you recognize what the need is of behind a certain feeling, it might be thinkable that you even do not feel any cause to act. It might be that you simply feel relieved and feel happy as you are in that very moment without doing anything. It might also be that you really go for action now and with full energy. It just is really the contact with the need changes the situation, and it changes your inner attitude. And it really is the root of happiness. So this is really action and commitment you can find here. So the commitment empowers you to prepare for happiness. It also gives you the energy to prepare for something, to achieve happiness later, so that you just prepare for a test or do preparation for a marathon run or whatever. It's really this very, very empowering situation. What it also brings you, it brings you in resonance. To feel a need brings you in resonance with yourself and with others. It helps you to create a mutuality of relationships, to help others. It is also a very good anchor point for resonant leadership, that you deal others, that you guide others, and it is one precondition to get into resonance with life. This is resonance, and this in the end can be this the release of happiness can be empowered to really live your vision, that you get in a kind of equilibrium of action and relaxation, that you get rid of inner noise, and that you really feel whole again, and that you actualize yourself, that you do what you want to do. And yes, this is the end where I now would like to stop. And I just hand over to Diane. I look forward to your questions or comments. Hello?
Mm-hmm. Yes. You can just write your questions in the chat box.
Mm-hmm. So I have here the whole picture, and I will also make it available as kind of poster, in case you want to see the whole or want to walk through the whole flow of this this concept.
Okay, I see. Okay. Yeah. There are a couple of comments, like it seems it's all about NVC. If we know how to work with it, we are happy.
NVC is a method of communication, and it is a method you can apply to connect with your needs and to overcome bad feelings. So my idea was to show you how you can get happy with compassionate communication. And yes, it's one method you can apply, and it's, from my point, a good method to become happy or to get in a closer relationship to happiness. I do not say that it's the only method to get happy, in no way. But in my point of view, it's a method you can apply and which really can lead you to happiness.
Yeah, there's also a comment, I love the concept, simple but not easy. Yeah. And I don't know, can you see the comments, Peter?
About if it's easy or simple, or...
Can you see the comments anyhow?
No, I'm sorry, I cannot
no
see them. I see the chat.
Yeah.
But no comments.
Okay. Yeah, there's simple but not easy. And I also believe that it works if you use it. And this is a quote from Mr. Rosenberg. Yep.
Yes, it's the one concept of happiness is that it's something you just get by surprise, or something which happens to you which comes to you from the outside, and it's or by fate or somehow. And it might be the case that it's not easy, but on the other hand, it's something you really can apply and you can work on it. So you can really lead yourself and guide yourself into happiness. This is what I really celebrate, that this is possible. So you can take happiness in your own hands and just go for it. This is what I really enjoy about this.
Mm-hmm. And can you also say something regarding an intercultural aspect?
Yes, this concept works on the whole globe and for every culture. So on the surface, we think that different cultures might have different needs. And what is correct is that there are in different cultures different actions or different understandings of, I do not know, of celebrating together, or of how about the work style you have, or about how to enjoy your leisure time, or whatever. Though it's obvious that different cultures have different understandings of these aspects of life. But the need behind it to feel connection with others, or to enjoy yourself, your body when you are outside, or to show up, to be seen, the needs behind it, they are the same for every human being. So when you apply this, there might be different outcomes for different cultures, but the method behind it, it works for every human being. So this is really a very fascinating aspect of NVC, and also of how you can apply it to get happy.